world knew that that was what happened. All right. Having said that, back to your question, if I will retrieve myself about the election in Ekiti and all and stuff like that, I don't see any reason why election in Ekiti should not maybe government of Ekiti state should not be pro before now, perhaps during this election, and considering the fact that he's still going about telling people, this is what not happened, or this is not what has happened. You and I know the fact. You and I know the truth. We have seen what is going on. To me, this election, I believe, if care is not taken, is going to result to another thing. So that's my take.
Okay, thank you so much. Brigadier Adeka, we spoke to Dr. Amadou Ali, and he said that he is very proud of the campaign they are running, and that the military, he said that the military, he was in the military, and you too, probably you knew him, but he was saying that the military did not break down, and the military did not do anything, that there was no change essentially between the military of the past and the present. That what happened was that there was need for our neighbors to come in and help us because we've been helping them to solve the problems in their countries, so they came. Is that your understanding of what's going on?
You are talking about the ongoing insurgency
yes.
warfare in the Northeast.
Yes.
Yes. Our constitution envisages that we could support other nations and could seek for the support of other nations as well, whether at bilateral or multilateral level. But what some of us are saying is that there are some militarily equipped people from South Africa. Some media report them as mercenaries. Some other people report them as South African military. But if the Minister of Defense in South Africa says those people are criminals, I'm inclined to go in with those media outlets that designate these people as mercenaries. And now, I do not see the president with any power based on the knowledge available to me, constitutionally and otherwise, that the president of Nigeria had the power to hire mercenaries to come and fight on behalf of Nigeria, while our military is there. Precisely, that is the way I see it. And then the Colonel Ahmad Ali, I don't like joining issue with senior officers, but Colonel Ahmad Ali, I think, was most popular in 1979, if I recall correctly, when he was Minister of Education, and Ali must go, kind of thing happened. We are talking about how many decades ago, and technology is moving by the seconds. So to say the military of 1979, 1980, is the same as the military of today, will be an insult on the collective wisdom of the military system. It reminds me when I was in Nigeria in 2013, chasing my promotion, and the then Chief of Defense Staff told me that I did not merit to be presented for promotion because I was doing research in the university and enjoying myself, and that the armed forces does not need the research. So that is the kind of reasoning that one will be thinking about when the senior retired officer is telling us that the military of his time is the same with the military of today. During the military of his time, we wouldn't have known about Koli at all. But today, within the twinkling of an eye, the social media, evaporate everything about the Koli, and everybody is in possession of it. So I don't agree with that. And secondly, what some of us are saying is that enough is enough for impunity. There are legal ways of doing things. There are no reason why we should not choose to do things legally. So mercenaries have no place in Nigeria, for whatever reason. Our military is capable, and all they need is the logistic support, which they have been denied all along.
Okay, thank you so much. Pius, next round I will let all our Skype callers ask you questions if they have any, but let me ask you before we get to that. I spoke to Dr. Ali, and one of the things he said about PVC and card reader for this election is that some of them cannot be used, that is going to be a problem in some areas where the batteries cannot last for 4 hours or more than 4 hours. But I understand that countries like Mali, they've used the same card readers to conduct elections. Why is it that Nigeria cannot do it? You know, why do we have excuses?
Why are they so afraid? What are they afraid of? I have to answer that question with a question. Why are they so afraid? It was used in Mali. So
right.
it insults the intelligence, you know.
All right. Let me come to you, College. You had my first segment with Pius. Do you have any question for him?
He was saying something about not being passive, and I want to know, like, if it's in the country right now, who is he going to vote for, and reasons why he's going to vote for that person? Because lots of people have been hearing they share the same sentiment that he's about, just being in the middle, and it's a lot of people are just.
College, I think you completely misunderstood.
Okay.
I wasn't saying that's my position.
Okay.
Rudolf asked for my assessment of things, and I said I wanted to give an even-handed. Of course.
Okay.
Of course, I'm partisan.
Again, I still want to ask.
I thought that was sufficiently public knowledge.
Okay.
Of course, I'm partisan. I'm vehemently opposed to Goodluck Jonathan and the PDP. You know?
I read a lot of your posts. That's why I'm asking. But I know you don't.
No. It was just in the context of the question that Rudolf asked me to do an overall assessment of the process. And I said, okay, yeah, I wanted to be even-handed. I wanted to put my pro-Buhari thing aside and just try to do an even-handed assessment of the process as a whole. That's what I was doing.
Okay, but still, like, what are the reasons why you vote for him? Like, let's say I'm supporting Jonathan. What are the reasons why you want this thing
it comes down to one thing. It comes down, if for nothing at all, if I were in Nigeria and I was able to vote, fundamentally, first and foremost, I would be voting to punish failure. I would be voting to punish impunity. Before I even get to Buhari or no Buhari at all, I would be voting to punish failure. I would be voting to punish impunity. I would be voting to... Look, this is the first time. And that's... You are making me get into the column I'm doing for Sahara this week. I hate you for that. I hate you for that. We've had... Listen, Rudolf, how long do I have to
No, go ahead. You have the time.
I like that he's boxing me to a corner. It's very interesting. You know, we've had bad leadership through and through in Nigeria, no doubt. So nobody is saying that this thing is a Jonathan problem or is peculiar to Jonathan. That's been our fate from independence. And whether you want to identify each leader with a particular aspect of our problems, of our tragedies, maybe you would say, maybe Shagari, for instance. Let me pick randomly. Shagari, for instance, unbridled corruption, in which he appeared to be, he had no liver. People said that he wasn't corrupt, but he had no liver to go against, you know, the monumental corruption that was being practiced around him. Maybe that's what you want to associate him with. Or pick Babangida, settlement, bribery. Pick Obasanjo to Egunje, bribery and all that.
Now,
there was never a time, listen to this, there was never a time when we did not know the difference between good and bad.
Okay.
There was never a time, no matter how brazen our corruption had been, people knew it was bad. They just did it anyway. You knew that stealing was bad. You just did it anyway. Babangida knew that settlement was bad, but he did it anyway. So those are totally different things. This is the first time in the history of our country where a leader would dare to forge the difference between things, to hair split and institute a somewhat legitimate debate. I can't even believe that we are at a point where we're trying to say, what's the difference between corruption and stealing? And that's a legitimate debate.
Now,
that's what he has done.
Pius, let me go and add to that question. Let me ask you, there are some intellectuals like you who are afraid, let me say that, to come out publicly and say this is their position. Why do you think most people are afraid to say, I am in support of this person or the other person? I know that the two candidates are flawed, but at least someone should be able to say, this is the person that I think is better. Because we've invited many of them to come on this show, and they won't come.
It's a combination of so many things. I don't know. I haven't really spoken to any. I know so many of them, you're right, who say they are neither here nor there. They're on the fence. They're on the and you know, I put out an article there that every election has its frame of reference. Every election has what I call its deontology, and I said that the deontology of this election is choice. And so, you know, this is the one election that, unfortunately for them, for the fence sitters, this is the one election that does not allow of I'm somewhere there, I can't make up my mind, this and that. This is the one election that does not allow of that. So the intellectual leadership of the moment, what the moment requires from the intellectual, is a clear choice, a clear signal, and why you are making that choice. So I'm sorry for any intellectuals who are out there thinking that they are clever by half. And I've said it, that history is going to judge them very harshly.
All right.
So I'm more respectful of the intellectual who says I'm for Jonathan, and this is why I'm for him, than somebody trying to tell me everybody is equally bad, don't do anything.
All right. We'll go to, College, no. We go to Bishop, and I hear from Adeka, then we will excuse Pius and come back for another round. But first of all, let me hear from you, Bishop. Do you have any question for Pius?
Yeah, Pius, just so you might not be able to, you might not be aware by now, I read article this morning. During I was doing a write-up for my organization. I read in the article that Buhari is calling for Jiga's sack, accusing INEC of deep corruption. So in this regard, because I heard you over saying something about INEC, do you reckon that Jiga should be sacked?
Okay, hold on. Bishop.
That article is an old one.
Very good. Yeah, it's very old, Bishop. It's not.
It's very old. You see, one trick that many of the supporters of President Jonathan have been playing is that they dig up very old. I mean, it's happened to me. They dig up very old articles from 3, 4, 5. Sometimes they retitle them and have some of these mushroom internet rivals of Sahara reporters, because everybody's just mushrooming and you're having all kinds of reporters, these reporters, and then they have them republished and filtered into social media.
Okay.
And all of a sudden you see people thinking that these are new. It's a very, very old, I think it's from the 2011 or even earlier election.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, Pius.
Sorry,
No, Bishop, we have to go.
I need to be excused. I have a situation here.
Bishop, we have to go. I'm going to Brigadier Adeka. Adeka, do you have any question for Pius?
I missed his presentation most of the time. I came at the tail end, so I don't have any questions.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Pius, thank you so much for joining us. We really enjoy your coming.
Yeah, a pleasure.
And
thanks a lot.
Hopefully you will do this again before the election or during the election. We'll have you to join us too.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I'd like to be back.
Okay.
And thanks to my thanks so much for your time.
Okay, thank you so much. Now, the other Skype callers, you can stay with us. We are going to take a break. When we come back, we will have a new guest here, and then we will continue our discussions. So stay tuned.
Hi, my name is Julius the Genius Agu. You know what this is. case you don't know, you're watching Sahara TV.
One love, Sahara TV. Everybody, Sahara TV, man. Go check it.